Hello everyone, this is Jotto and welcome to the Warlock section. 2 classes to go. We went through Rogue, which was really bad, and Shaman, that was really good. So let's see where Warlock fits in, starting with Demon Fuse. Demon Fuse is 2 mana, give a demon +3/+3, give your opponent a mana crystal. Now, before I get into anything, Trump made the Photoshop joke, which I think some of you may have seen, where he just sort of moved around some of the parts of the card and he just said, give your opponent 3 mana. Now, alright, I don't think it's that bad compared to what he thinks. However, Demon Fire has no drawback and isn't even close to seeing play. +1/+1 with a drawback. And the problem is you also play it on turn 2 and then you give your opponent, like if you're playing as a druid, they're laughing at you because you just ramped them into Keeper of the Grove.
Yeah, this card is awful.
I think it's terrible.
Yeah, because exactly, like you play it on turn 2 and the Druid responds with Keeper of the Grove. You play it against any other, like you don't want to ramp it, you don't want to let any class ramp at all. Like the only class where this is relatively okay against is Hunter, kinda.
Freezing Trap, and you probably only have one dude.
But it's still bad, yeah. It needs to hit a demon, which makes it problematic. If it were to give any minion +3/+3, and give your opponent a mana crystal, then we'd be closer into playable territory.
Still no.
But it's still bad. In both formats, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's just, there's so many cards that punish you for this. There's, like, Sap is the really obvious one. But yeah, as I said, there's Keeper, there's Mulch if you're really playing that. There's, like, Polymorph laughs at you. Same with Hex. Freeze Mage is just like, oh look, nice dude, I'll just freeze because you only have one dude now. I don't know, it's just a...
Now obviously if you turn one Flame Emperor Void Caller, Void Walker into Demon Fuse, that's incredibly strong, but that is the absolute strongest this card gets.
And in that case it's like a really gimmicky villain's chosen.
Right, yeah, and if that's the strongest it gets, then it's not worth playing.
Precisely. Why do I drink while recording sometimes? Anyway, almost choked on that. Regardless, on to a card which I think a lot of people choked on when it was revealed. Wraithguard, 2 mana, 4/3 demon. What's the drawback, you say? Whenever this minion takes damage, you take that much as well. Succubus, get out of here? Is that what this says? Like, this is so much better than Succubus, it's actually kind of painful.
Yeah, I like this card a lot.
I think it's incredible.
The obvious scenario that people bring up is now Shield Slam can hit face.
They never have that much armor anyway, but they get Zoo. But it is funny.
Right. And even though that may be true, that is a rare scenario for one class.
Yeah, I think the painful ones... The truly painful removal that hits this is all generally fairly inefficient. Like Swipe. Swipe actually does hurt against Combo Druid because you get 4 damage to you as well. But even then, it's like, are you really concerned about...
Yeah, the upside is worth it.
Now, it does also have a horrific drawback against Rogue because they just go Blade Flurry and hit you for 6.
Yeah.
That could hurt, but the point is that the drawback is worth the 4/3. It's not Totem Golem, but it is damn close. And it's also in Warlock that draws.
Yeah, most of the time, all this is going to hit is one of those 2 mana, 3 damage spells, right? That's like 8 times out of 10, that's what's really going to happen, is that you're going to get Wrathed in the face for 3. But that's fine.
That's fine.
Take those scenarios in order to play this card.
Not to mention, the whole argument is like, oh look, you can kill it with Wrath, and I'm like, yeah, so can Knife Juggler. Does that make the card bad? Yeah. It's like, congratulations, 2 drops dying to 2 mana removal, we get it. It's like, also, it's actually decent against Hunter, because Hunter doesn't tend to deal 3 damage to this thing, and they don't want to use their face on it, because it hits back for 4, and it doesn't die to Explosive Trap, and if it gets freezing, you don't have a reusable drawback like with Flame Imp.
Yeah, the worst thing that happens is this takes a quick shot. That's the worst thing that happens, and you can live with that.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, Arena, solid 2-drop. It's not a 3/4. We've gone over this with 3 drops a lot, but it's still very powerful.
Well, it's a 2-drop.
No, no, I mean, what's it called? It's not a 3/4. We've gone over this with 3 drops, that's what I said. So yeah, that's kind of a drawback to its massive stat line. But just because something isn't Totem Golem does not mean it's bad.
Right. No, I think that this is right up there with this is probably the best 2-drop that Warlocks have access to in Arena.
And in Constructed as well, I think.
Yeah.
Do they have a better one in Warlock? Like Nerubian A, nah, that needs an activator.
I'd still take Knife Juggler over it, but yeah. But now we're like,
Yeah, Juggler's better later in the game because of Implosion. This is worse later in the game because it gets hit really hard. Yeah, if you take a rag shot.
But now we're just talking negligibles here.
Exactly. So. It's just gonna be funny where there's gonna be that one clip where someone gets hit in the face by their own Wraith Guard with a rag shot.
Yeah.
And they die. That's gonna be funny. But anyway, speaking of rag targets, the fearsome Doom Guard, not to be confused with a regular Doom Guard. Alright. 7 mana, 6/8 demon. So fearsome Doom Guards don't have drawbacks and are bigger Boulder Fist Ogres.
Mm-hmm.
It is a demon, which actually is relevant because of Void Caller. However, this is a subtle buff to Bane of Doom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not gonna play this card in your deck, right? No. Because it is.
I'll play it in Arena if I have some Void Callers.
Yeah, absolutely. But this is a Boulder Fist Ogre. It's 1 more mana, 1 more health plus a demon. It's a Boulder Fist Ogre.
It is, yes.
But yeah, your Bane of Doom just got really strong.
It did, and I think that it's an insane thing to get a Bane of Doom. It's mostly an Arena card. I'll pick it in Arena. It's not a Boulder Fist Ogre. +1 mana for the Synergy Insight is not usually better, although if I have... I'll put it this way, if I have 1 Void Caller, I think I'm picking Boulder Fist over this, but if I have 2, I'm picking the Doom card.
Yeah.
Sorry, the Fearsome. I don't want to call it Doom card.
Yeah, I mean, every single demon that's coming out in this set is a buff to Bane of Doom, in my opinion.
Yeah, even the small one that we'll go over in a bit.
Yeah. I mean, Bane of Doom just got significantly better with this set, significantly.
Yep. Some people are playing it already, now you have less chance of getting Blood Imp. Have fun with that.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, Blood Imp, how the mighty have fallen. But yeah, anyway. Tiny Knight of Evil. That is one of the best names in the entire set. It's a Tiny Knight of Evil. It is a small creature, I'll give it that. Anyway. 2 mana, 3/2 demon. Also, I hope the flavor text is the knight that says knee.
Goodness.
He needs a stool. Anyway, whenever you discard a card, gain +1/+1. Now this and the Fist of Jaraxxus that we'll go over in a bit are incentives to run Soulfire and Doomguard. Now, the way I see it is that this is way better than Fist. I don't think it's good enough. You really need to run Doomguard and Soulfire. Now yes, if you discard 2 cards with Doomguard, yes, it becomes a 5/4. Have fun with that. But you really need to play Soulfires with this as well if you want to play it, and I don't think it's good enough to make the cut, given that they just got Wraithguard as well in the 2-drop slot. However, I wouldn't put it past someone at least testing it.
Yeah, I don't think the power level of this card is high enough to incentivize running a deck that discards cards.
It would. I think you need the problem is that Soulfire is generally not seen as good enough to play.
Right.
And Doomguard is. But you really do need at least 4 discards in your deck that are really powerful and worth running when you don't draw this on turn 2 to make it good, and Soulfire doesn't quite get there anymore.
Yeah, and even with Doomguard, you're playing it optimally to not discard cards either, right? Like you're still playing Void, you're playing in Zoo where you want to play it when you have at least close to an empty hand. Like the discarding drawback is such a tremendous drawback that you try to avoid it whenever possible, and this card in particular is not strong enough to make me want to discard.
Look at Succubus. Massive stats. It was in base set where the stats on 2-drops especially was like really bad. It was like Knife Juggler and ... for 2-drops in base set.
Card.
And it was awful. It was terrible.
Right.
So yeah, that's how big of a drawback discarding is, and yeah. And so I like the incentive, I just don't think this is good.
Yeah.
Fist of Jaraxxus, we're not getting much better. 4 mana. Whenever you play or discard this, deal 4 damage to a random enemy. Why does it have to be random when you play it?
Yeah, this card is awful.
What? If it was only random when you discarded it, I would think about it. But
Nope. No.
why? No, I was about to say implosion exists. But why would you? It does not need a drawback on its upside.
Yeah, this card is bad and also poorly designed, in my opinion.
It's a home run on the GVG side of things, which is random and badly designed in the same card. So yeah, I don't like this card, so I hate this card.
Same.
Arena is also awful.
Right.
Don't pick it. I'll pick it over an Alarmo Ball, but I can't name another rare off the top of my head that I won't pick this over. I won't pick this under at least.
Yeah. I guess I'd pick this over Alarmo Bot. I guess.
Alright, anyway. At least they freak out when Alarmo Ball comes out. Void Crusher, 6 mana, 5/4 demon. Obligatory Inspire card for the class that Rogue didn't get. Destroy a random minion for each player. Now, that looks ludicrously powerful until you realize it can kill itself.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
God.
If you could destroy a random minion that wasn't that card, then I think it would be balanced. Actually.
You know what's funny about this? I think it would see play. In fact, I think it would be borderline playable if it didn't destroy one of yours.
Actually, no. Now that I think about it, it would be ridiculously overpowered if it couldn't destroy itself. Actually.
Why?
Because so you almost automatically win any control matchup where this sticks on the board from one turn, and I understand that could be said for quite a number of cards, but those cards are all legendaries.
I have a response. Inspire plus this is 8 mana.
No, yeah, but we're talking. Yeah, but I'm talking about the upside, like the top end of this card is absolutely game winning, and you can have 2 of them in your deck.
It is,
right?
But it also has 4 HP, and we know 4 health things die really fast in the late game. We've said this before. 4 HP is not a lot once it gets to past turn 5.
Yeah, no, I understand. Like the likelihood is relatively low, but it being able to even take off 1 minion. Then again, we're talking about if it couldn't kill itself, right? Even that circumstance is strong enough to warrant the stat line, and then the upside would make it absolutely worth it. But we're also talking complete hypothetical in a world where this card can't kill itself, which is irrelevant because this card can kill itself.
I feel like this card was over-nerfed in development. It feels like at one point it was like, I think it was playable, but Blizzard does this a lot. Actually, you notice some cards where it's just like, this is weird drawbacks on these cards. They like nerf them at some point. But they've done this with a lot of cards in the past where it's just like some random drawbacks on certain cards that make no sense.
Now, if you were to get this off of Bane of Doom, and you have a board that has like implosion imps on it, that's a completely different story, right?
Yeah, but then it could still kill us.
No, yeah, for sure.
And you've already spent 5 mana that turn.
Yeah. No, yeah, no, I understand, but that is probably the best case scenario for this card, for that card being on the board.
Yeah, even then it's like, Bane of Doom has to kill something, and you just implosion, which means they probably don't even have a dude. And then you're just like, oh my god, why isn't this a Fearsome Doom card? Just things like that. But anyway, it's not that bad with Bane of Doom, obviously, big stat line for a Bane of Doom creature, I'll take it. But I don't like this thing at all currently, and I think we're agreed on that. Arena, no.
In Arena, I think it's borderline.
It is 8 mana.
Yeah.
It's technically 6, but it's realistically 8.
I think it's borderline in Arena, but that's not saying very much.
Compare this to Floating Watcher. I think that's the comparison. They cost roughly the same amount of mana.
Yeah, no, but I think Floating Watch is really good in Arena.
Yeah.
But
Floating Watcher, I think I'd rather have a Floating Watcher than this in Arena, and that costs 7 to activate.
Yeah, but one's a common, and Floating Watcher is not borderline, right? So
Floating Watcher is very good. But anyway, Dread Steed, the first epic. 4 mana, 1/1 demon, death rattle, summon a dread seed, you get infinite 1/1s.
Yeah, it's really only good off of Bane of Doom.
If someone plays this, I'm laughing at them.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't run it in your deck. I wouldn't be upset about having infinite 1/1s off of Bane of Doom. Actually, to be completely honest. But
Yeah.
but that's pretty much it. Like the synergies with this and Amalganis is an obvious one. Infinite 3/3s, but
Yeah, yay. But
it's not worth a spot in your deck.
it just isn't. Also, if I get a Benedium, I'm not going to be unhappy, but I'm also not going to be thrilled.
Yeah, I mean, not every card can be Fearsome Doomguard, but I think this is middling, one of the middling ones that you want to be.
Probably. I mean,
I'd rather have this than Flame Imp and Void Walker.
I don't know if I'd rather have this than Flame It, because keep in mind, it's like infinite 1/1 sounds amazing, but then you realize you can only get one attack in a turn.
Yeah. It depends on. I guess it strongly depends on like how much longer you expect the game to.
Also, if it gets sapped, you feel like a retard. It's just like, oh my god, I'm never replaying that.
Yeah, this can get sapped. Wrathguard can be shield slammed for 30. Get it?
Yeah, it's true. But the point is, one of them is more likely than the other. But anyway, Dark Bargain. 6 mana. Destroy 2 random enemy creatures. Not bad. Discard 2 cards. Why?
Yeah.
What is with these random drawbacks?
Okay. It needed that drawback to not cost 7. I think that if it were to destroy 2 random enemy minions, then that's a 7 mana cost worth spell.
Does
now,
it say something
2
I wouldn't play this before? Or 3?
Oh, if it were discarding 2 random cards.
I think the drawback is worse than the effect. It's borderline worse than the effect, especially considering you have Siphon Soul at the same mana cost.
Yeah, it's tough because of the type of deck that you'd run this in. Like the type of deck that you'd run this in would be a deck that has a lot of high value creatures and a lot of cards in your hand, right?
Fist of Draxus board wipe.
Yeah, that's basically it. If you have this and discard double Fist of Jiraxis, then we're talking.
Yeah, and then they both go to the face.
First? Now, what would happen first? Does Fist of Jiraxis go off first or Dark Bargain?
I think the spell goes off. Yeah, if you look at Soulfire, I think it goes off before the discard. Like the discard happens after the animation's completed.
See, it always seemed like it happened simultaneously, and we know that like stacks don't work that way.
Yeah, I know, but the point is, when it comes to simultaneous effects, I know that Blizzard have a habit of writing them down in order, which is useful, even though they never talk about it.
If this were any other TCG, you would figure that Fist of Jiraxis would happen first.
Why?
Because stacks were to happen in the reverse order, right? So it's like you play this, 2 cards.
No, because in that kind of game, it would be as an additional cost.
That's true. Yeah, it would be a cost instead of.
Which means that the Destroy 2 would happen at the same time in any games with a stack based on Magic, which is actually a lot of them. But anyway, the point is that this is Hearthstone, which means we have no idea.
Yeah.
Next expansion, Rulebook. At least they'd be forced to fix some stuff, that'd be nice. Anyway.
That being said, regardless, this card is bad, and
I would not
I don't
pick it in
think it's
Arena.
I don't think it's awful in Arena. I think it's also borderline in Arena.
It's
but
an epic is the thing. That's actually a bonus.
Yeah.
Because there's some bad epics.
I think that not Druid, when I say Druid, Warlock as a class in Arena suffers from good removal. Outside of the Hellfire and Shadowflame AoEs. But as far as target removal, it suffers in Arena, and this helps solve that problem. Not well enough that I would say that I'd be happy about picking it per se, but I think it's middling.
Alright. Are you ready for the most overhyped card in the entire set?
I don't think it's the most overhyped, but it's definitely
It's up there, yeah. Wilfred Fizzlebang, Master of something. No. First of all, if you get your access off this, you should get an achievement for that.
There's a special interaction. There's a special interaction or animation of some sort if you do that.
If you draw.
Yeah.
I hope the theme song plays. Anyway, 6 mana 4/4. Cards you draw from your hero power cost 0. And some people were just like, oh my god, you draw Jiraxis or Morganis new in the game. And I'm just like, yeah, you draw Dark Bomb.
Well, okay.
You're actually more likely to draw Ancient Watcher, Sunfear Protector, Dark Bomb, Mortal Coil.
Yeah, you're also assuming that this is going in Handlock. Because like Handlock generally is not the kind of deck you'd want to put this in because there actually aren't enough cards that cost a lot. You know.
That's kind of true, actually.
Yeah.
Something else, I don't know what this would fit in besides Handlock. That's the thing. Like, I don't think it fits in anything.
It'll fit in the kind of deck that runs Fearsome Doomguard, basically. But I can't. Yeah, I can't.
That kind of deck would also run Voidwalkers, Imp Boss. They have Dark Bomb. They have low drops.
It's all about like what the average cost of a card is.
I think it's like 4 in Warlock. Most Warlock decks.
Upside. I think that drawing anything that costs, I wouldn't be upset about drawing an Imp Gang Boss that costs 0, to be completely honest.
Yeah, the problem is that you did spend 8 mana for a 2/4 and 4/4.
Right, and that is the truth. This card synergizes very well with the card that we touched on in the neutrals, though. Fencing Coach.
Oh yeah, the 0 cost. Yeah, if you curve that, it works.
But
Yeah.
you don't want to run Fencing Coach in it.
I think
it's tough to
compare this to Mistcaller. They have the same stats.
It's going to be difficult to find a way to make a deck with this card in it work because you want the deck to curve high enough that even with your low cost spells, the average cost of a card in your deck makes the effect on this card worthwhile. And you want to have that kind of deck be one that doesn't have you lose automatically if you don't play Wilfred Fizzlebank.
I was about to say this is a nerf to Unstable Portal, and then I realized it costs 3.
Yeah, no, it's not a difference.
No. You play the hero power switch thing, and you get it as a mage.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I'm not a fan of him, but I wouldn't be shocked if you saw some play. Now, as far as Arena goes, I think he's mid-tier. His effect is you draft a lot of 2 and 3 drops and 4 drops in Arena.
In Arena, it's so much more likely to stick on the board. But then again, you're not curving very high in Arena.
You're also effectively spending your turn 8 on this.
I find that I'd play this naked on turn 6, depending on what the board state is in Arena. But generally, once you get past turn 6 in Arena, you don't have that many cards in your hand to begin with, so you're probably not going to find it difficult. You're probably not going to find it difficult to use up your mana and use up the cards in your hand. So the effect is much more negligible in Arena than it is in Constructed.
Yeah, that's true actually. Anyway, we'll see as far as Wilfred Fizzlebang goes. If you get a Jiraxis, good for you.
Yeah. Just
say you need to play Jiraxis in every Wilfred Fizzlebang deck just for that little audio cue. Yeah. Have as a theme song.
But hey, your Dreadsteed costs 0.
Yeah. Alright, 0 mana Fist of Jiraxis. Oh wait. That would actually suck. You got a 0 mana Fist of Jiraxis. 0 mana Flame.
0 mana to go for 4 damage to a random enemy? What's wrong with that?
I discard a card basically. Anyway.
No, you don't discard it when you play it.
Yeah, you do.
Oh,
you play
because you're supposed to play it in your deck, yeah.
Anyway, thank you all for watching. And we'll be back for the final one, which is Warrior. So stay tuned for that.